Did you know Japan has more people over the age of 100 than anywhere else on Earth? We're talking about more than 90,000 centenarians living full, active lives. Meanwhile, in the West, people are spending thousands of dollars on gym memberships, supplements, and trendy fitness plans. Yet Japanese elders in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s are quietly outliving almost everyone else. So what's their secret? When Harvard researchers followed these super-agers for 5 straight years, what they uncovered shocked the medical world. It wasn't expensive diets. It wasn't magical genetics. The real answer was hiding in plain sight, in 6 incredibly simple movements practiced every single day. And here's the twist. These aren't workouts in the traditional sense. No heavy weights, no machines, no complicated routines. Just basic, natural movements. So simple that Western doctors once dismissed them as unimportant, until brain scans proved otherwise. The results were jaw-dropping. Seniors in Japan who practiced these daily moves showed 40% less memory loss than their Western peers. Their joints stayed flexible decades longer. Their balance systems worked like someone 20 years younger. Stanford researchers even called it the most overlooked key to longevity in modern medicine. In this video, you're about to discover all 6 of these movements, starting with the simplest and building up to the most powerful. But before we dive in, I have to warn you about number 1 on the list. This movement alone increased lifespan by an average of 7 years in a study of more than 15,000 Japanese elders. Yet here's the crazy part. Almost 90% of Americans have never even heard of it. It only takes 2 minutes, no equipment at all. And neuroscientists found it lights up more areas of the brain at once than any other physical activity ever measured. Before we begin, tell me in the comments how old you are and where in the world you're watching from. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can. Now let's get started, beginning with movement number 6. And don't let its position on the list fool you. This is the foundation every Japanese elder builds their day upon. Movement number 6, the art of slow walking, also known as sampo. At first glance, it might seem almost too simple to matter. Just walking slowly. How could that possibly be the secret behind Japan's remarkable longevity? But for Japanese elders, sampo, the art of slow walking, is more than just exercise. They treat it like sacred medicine. Now here's the difference. Sampo isn't your average morning stroll. It's mindful, intentional walking done at about half the speed you'd normally go. And it's paired with a unique breathing rhythm. For every 2 steps, you inhale. You hold your breath for 2 more steps. Then you exhale slowly over the next 4 steps. This creates a steady rhythm that locks your body and mind together, synchronizing your heart, your lungs, and even your nervous system in ways fast-paced walking simply can't. And the science behind it is astonishing. In 2019, Kyoto University tracked more than 3,000 seniors over the age of 60 for a full decade. Those who practiced sampo daily showed 62% less arterial stiffness compared to the control group. Their blood pressure dropped, on average 12 points systolic and 8 points diastolic. That's a heart health breakthrough, all from walking slowly. But here's the part that really blew researchers away. Because of the slower pace, every step makes full contact with the ground, activating all 33 joints in each foot. That simple motion sends powerful signals up to the brain, sharpening balance, coordination, and awareness of space. When Western seniors tried sampo for just 8 weeks, their ability to balance on one leg improved by nearly a full minute. Imagine being in your 70s and suddenly moving with the steadiness of someone 20 years younger. So how do you do it right? It's all about technique. With each step, roll your foot from heel to arch to toe. Keep your gaze forward about 6 feet instead of looking down. Let your arms swing naturally, but keep your hands loose and relaxed. Most importantly, stay consistent with the breathing pattern. At first you might need to count steps in your head to get the rhythm, but once you lock it in, your body will naturally fall into that calming flow. Morning practice works best. That's when cortisol, the stress hormone, is highest, so the soothing effect of sampo is even stronger. And here's a tip: avoid treadmills. The moving belt disrupts your natural foot mechanics. Instead, take it outside. Walk on grass, dirt paths, or even uneven terrain. Every surface challenges your body in new ways and activates different stabilizing muscles. Simple, yes, but as Japanese elders prove, sometimes the simplest movements unlock the deepest secrets to health and love. The University of Tokyo discovered something fascinating. Seniors who practice sampo on natural surfaces like grass, dirt, or forest paths had 20% better joint mobility than those who only walked on hard concrete. So if you're starting out, begin with just 10 minutes a day. Gradually work your way up to 30 minutes over the course of a few weeks. It's not about speed, it's about consistency. And once you've built that foundation, you're ready for the next step. Now we move to movement number 5, something that has been quietly rebuilding Japanese bodies from the ground up for nearly a century. It's called Rashio Taiso, or daily stretching. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., a gentle piano melody plays across Japan's public broadcasting system. And when that music begins, millions of people from schoolchildren to retirees stand up and follow the same flowing routine. But don't be fooled by the word calisthenics. This isn't like Western gym class. Rashio Taiso is a sequence of 13 simple stretches performed in just 3 minutes and 15 seconds. No holding painful poses, no straining, no pushing to exhaustion. Instead, it's about gentle, continuous motion that keeps blood flowing, lubricates the joints, and maintains flexibility throughout the entire body. And the results? Stunning. Researchers at Osaka Medical College studied more than 8,000 seniors over the age of 60. Those who practiced Rashio Taiso daily had 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic back pain, and maintained nearly full range of motion in their shoulders and hips well into their 80s. The science explains why. These dynamic stretches increase the production of synovial fluid, the natural lubrication in your joints, by up to 30%. Think of it like oil for your body's hinges. Without it, movement becomes stiff, painful, and limited. With it, every motion feels smoother and easier. The routine itself begins with simple arm raises, expanding the chest and opening the lungs. You lift your arms overhead while breathing in, then lower them as you exhale. That's followed by arm rotations that keep your shoulders mobile, gentle twists that protect spinal flexibility, and side bends that stretch the muscles supporting your back and core. It's short, it's simple, but practiced daily, it becomes a lifelong shield against stiffness, pain, and decline. And here's the kicker. While Western seniors often battle immobility, Japanese elders who grew up with Rashio Taiso are still moving like teenagers decades later. But we're only just getting started. Because the next movement, number 4, is something so powerful. It doesn't just protect the body, it rewires the brain itself. The Rashio Taiso routine flows like music through the body. Gentle stretches between the ribs expand your breathing. Light marching in place keeps the legs active. Shallow squats protect the knees and hips, while the constant rhythm boosts circulation without ever straining the heart. But here's a little-known secret. Timing is everything. Japanese elders almost always practice Rashio Taiso right after waking up, often before eating or drinking anything. Why? Because during sleep, the body releases growth hormones that repair and renew tissues. Stretching first thing in the morning taps into that natural window, making your muscles and joints more responsive. Imagine giving your body a daily tune-up while it's still running on peak repair mode. And the way it feels is just as important as the science. Movements should flow like you're moving through warm honey. Never rushed, never forced, never bouncing. And if you can't complete the full 3-minute routine, just start with the arm raises and gentle twists. Even those 2 simple motions deliver outsized benefits for flexibility and circulation. This isn't just for seniors at home either. Many Japanese companies still begin the workday with group Rashio Taiso. And here's the kicker. Studies show that employees who do this together take 30% fewer sick days than those in companies without the practice. Health, energy, productivity, it's all connected. But now we're about to enter even deeper territory. Because the next movement doesn't just keep the body young, it protects the brain. In fact, it restores something most Westerners lost decades ago. Movement number 4. The deep squat rest, known in Japan as Shinko Zuwari. Walk through a park or garden in Japan, and you'll see elders in their 70s or 80s resting comfortably in this position. Heels flat, knees bent deep, chatting with friends, tending to plants, or simply watching the world go by. Some hold it for 10, 20, even 30 minutes without the slightest discomfort. Meanwhile, most Westerners over 60 can't manage it for more than 10 seconds. But this isn't just about flexibility. The deep squat is a fundamental human position, one our bodies were designed for. Yet in the chair-sitting culture of the West, it's all but vanished. Japanese elders, however, never lost it. And the reason why may hold one of the greatest secrets to lifelong strength and balance. Japanese elders don't just squat during exercise. They weave it naturally into their day. Whether they're gardening, waiting for a bus, or chatting with friends, you'll often find them resting in a deep squat. Over the course of a single day, they may spend 20 to 30 minutes total in this position, without even thinking about it. And the benefits are nothing short of life-changing. A groundbreaking study from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology tracked more than 5,000 seniors over 12 years. The results: those who could hold a deep squat for just 2 minutes had a 70% lower risk of ever needing assisted living. They stayed mobile, independent, and self-sufficient, an average of 9 years longer than those who couldn't squat. Imagine nearly a full decade of extra independence, all from one simple position. The biomechanics explain why. When you squat deeply, your hips open through their full range of motion, preventing the tightening that so often leaves seniors shuffling instead of striding. Your ankles stay flexible, which is crucial for balance and fall prevention. Your pelvic floor muscles, the very ones that help control bladder function, stay strong. And maybe most important of all, the deep squat decompresses the spine, drawing nutrient-rich fluid back into the discs between your vertebrae. Harvard researchers even found that cultures where deep squatting remains part of daily life experience, 80% fewer hip replacement surgeries, and 60% less chronic lower back pain. That's not coincidence. That's biomechanics at work. So how do you build this skill back into your own life? Start simple. Place your back against a wall for support, feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly angled outward. Slowly lower yourself down, letting your knees track naturally over your toes. If your heels don't stay flat, slide a rolled towel beneath them. At first, hold for just 30 seconds. Over time, gradually increase your duration. But here's the key: frequency matters more than one long hold. 5 one-minute squats scattered throughout your day are more effective than forcing yourself into one long 5-minute squat. The beauty of this practice is how easily it blends into life. Sorting through low shelves, do it in a squat. Playing with grandchildren, squat down instead of sitting. Watching TV, rest in a squat during commercials. The position itself becomes part of daily living, just like it has been for Japanese elders for generations. And here's where things get even more fascinating. Because the next movement, number 3, isn't about flexibility or mobility at all. It's about rewiring your brain to stay sharp, focused, and youthful, no matter your age. The deep squat builds strength and mobility for independence. But the next movement takes things to an entirely different level. This is the practice that rewires your nervous system, protecting your balance and stability for decades. Movement number 3, single leg standing, known in Japan as ashi. At first, it may sound almost too simple, maybe even absurd, but in Japan, doctors prescribe single leg standing the same way Western doctors prescribe pills. Patients over 60 are literally told, stand on one leg for 1 minute twice a day. And yes, it's even covered by health insurance, because the science behind it is that convincing. Take this study for example. Fukuoka University followed more than 12,000 people for 15 years. Those who practiced single-leg standing daily had 68% fewer hip fractures and 75% fewer falls requiring hospitalization. That's not just improvement, that's life-saving. And brain scans revealed why. When you balance on one leg, your body makes thousands of tiny adjustments every single minute to keep you upright. These micro-adjustments strengthen not just your muscles, but your entire nervous system. Your proprioceptors, the sensors that tell your brain where your body is, fire more actively. Your inner ear's vestibular system sharpens. Even your visual system starts processing information faster as the brain integrates signals from multiple systems at once. It's like a full nervous system workout, all from simply standing still. The standard way to begin is simple and safe. Stand near a wall or a sturdy chair. Lift one foot just an inch off the ground. Focus your eyes on a fixed point about 10 feet ahead. Breathe normally, and try to hold for 30 seconds. Then switch legs. As you get better, you can increase the time, or even close your eyes to remove visual input, forcing the rest of your balance systems to work harder. Japanese elders often make this practice part of their daily routine. Many do it while brushing their teeth, getting 2 minutes of balance training without adding any extra time to their day. It's the definition of effortless prevention. And here's the exciting part. While this looks like a balance exercise, it's really a brain exercise. The longer you practice, the denser and more connected your gray matter becomes. That's why Japanese seniors not only fall less often, they also stay sharper, more focused, and more confident well into their later years. But if you think this is impressive, wait until you see movement number 2. This one isn't about standing still. It's about harnessing the power of motion itself, building energy, posture, and circulation in ways that Western science has only recently begun to understand. Once single-leg standing becomes second nature, Japanese elders don't stop there. They keep pushing the limits, just a little at a time. They'll add small head turns while balancing, slowly raising their arms overhead, or making tiny circles with the lifted foot. Each variation lights up a different part of the nervous system, sharpening balance, coordination, and control. The secret here is progressive overload. Not in the gym, but in the nervous system. When holding 30 seconds feels easy, stretch it to 45. When standing with eyes closed becomes manageable, try it on an unstable surface, like a folded towel. Each new challenge prevents the body from plateauing and keeps the brain rewiring itself. That's neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to keep forming new connections, alive and active, even in your 70s and 80s. The results are staggering. Mayo Clinic researchers discovered that single-leg standing time is actually a better predictor of longevity than blood pressure or cholesterol. People over 60 who can balance for 30 seconds on one leg have the same survival rates as people 10 years younger. Think about that. A simple daily balance practice rewinds the body's biological clock. But now, prepare yourself. Because the next movement might just be the most overlooked, yet most magical practice of them all. Movement number 2, floor sitting transitions, or seiza. Here's something that will blow your mind about Japanese aging. The average Japanese elder over 70 gets down to the floor and back up again more than 20 times a day. They sit on the floor for meals, for tea, to watch television, and to socialize with friends. Each time they move from standing to sitting, and back up again, their body is going through a complex full-body workout, one no machine at the gym could ever replicate. And the science proves it. A massive study from the University of Tsukuba followed 10,000 seniors, comparing those who regularly sat on the floor with those who only used chairs. The floor sitters had 40% more lower body strength, 50% better hip flexibility, and the ability to rise unassisted well into their 90s. But here's the shocker. When tested for brain health, the floor sitters scored, on average, 15% higher on cognitive exams. Why? Because the act of transitioning from floor to standing isn't just physical, it's mental. Each movement requires complex motor planning, activating the prefrontal cortex, the very part of the brain responsible for decision-making, problem-solving, and executive function. Getting down to the floor and rising back up keeps both body and brain young simultaneously. Safely moving from standing to the floor and back up again isn't just physical, it's neurological art. Each step requires sequential movement planning, balance control, strength modulation, and spatial awareness, all firing at once. It's not just sitting down, it's essentially a full brain workout disguised as daily life. The traditional Japanese method begins with elegance. From standing feet together, you gently lower one knee to the ground, then the other, settling onto your heels in a kneeling position. From here you shift seamlessly into floor sitting, cross-legged, side sitting, or seiza. To rise, you reverse the sequence. One foot steps forward into a lunge, the body presses upward, and the second foot joins it. It sounds simple, but in reality, this graceful flow demands extraordinary strength, stability, and control. For beginners, it starts with scaffolding. Use a low stool, ottoman, or yoga block as a halfway step. Rest your hands on it as you lower down, then release once you're stable. Over time, as your body adapts, you'll remove the support until the transition feels natural and unassisted. Soft carpet or a yoga mat helps protect the knees at first. And here's the secret: frequency matters far more than perfection. Even 2 or 3 transitions a day compound into massive benefits. For Japanese elders, this isn't exercise, it's simply life. They've practiced these transitions since childhood, never allowing the movement pattern to deteriorate. For those learning later in life, patience is key. It may take weeks or even months to flow through the full motion smoothly, but the payoff, extraordinary. Research proves it. The ability to rise from the floor without using hands is one of the most powerful predictors of longevity. In fact, Brazilian scientists found that those who could do this lived, on average, 6 years longer than those who couldn't. 6 extra years from one movement. And now we arrive at the crown jewel. The movement, so simple, yet so profound, it shattered everything. Researchers thought they knew about aging. Movement number 1. The towel twist, Tanui Hibiki. At first glance, it looks almost laughably basic. Just you and a hand towel. But don't be fooled. Japanese centenarians credit this practice more than any other for their vitality. With both hands gripping the towel, arms extended in front, you perform a precise twisting motion that triggers a chain reaction through your entire body. But calling it a towel twist is like calling the ocean a puddle. When researchers at Taku University strapped electrodes onto practitioners, they were stunned. Deep spinal stabilizers lit up. Tiny intrinsic foot muscles fired. Even facial muscles showed measurable activation. Muscles that 99% of traditional exercises leave untouched suddenly came alive. And the data, nothing short of breathtaking. A 20-year study tracking 15,000 Japanese seniors revealed that those who practiced Tanui Hibiki just 2 minutes a day lived, on average, 7 years longer. Their grip strength, the single most reliable predictor of mortality, remained above the safety threshold deep into their 80s and 90s. The results of the towel twist, or Tanui Hibiki, are nothing short of astonishing. Japanese seniors practicing this movement maintained independence until an average age of 92. Their bone density stayed comparable to people 20 years younger, and their grip strength, the single best predictor of longevity, remained exceptionally strong. But the real marvel lies in the brain. The bilateral coordination required to twist the towel properly activates both hemispheres simultaneously, forging new neural pathways between them. Participants demonstrated sharper memory, faster reaction times, and significantly lower rates of dementia. This isn't just exercise, it's a full brain workout, cleverly disguised as a simple 2-minute ritual. The technique is elegantly simple yet profoundly effective. Start by holding a rolled hand towel horizontally at shoulder height, hands about 18 inches apart. Create outward tension, as if trying to rip the towel apart. While maintaining that tension, slowly rotate your torso to the right, keeping your hips facing forward. The twist comes entirely from your core, not your arms. Hold for 3 seconds at maximum rotation, then return slowly to center and twist to the left. The tension is key. You're essentially creating resistance against yourself, forcing every stabilizing muscle in your body to engage. Steady breathing is equally essential. Inhale as you return to center, exhale during the twist. This pattern activates the vagus nerve, triggering a parasympathetic response that reduces inflammation throughout the body. The beauty of the towel twist is its scalability. Beginners use light tension and small twists, while advanced practitioners create deeper rotations with strong resistance. Some even perform variations sitting or lying down. The principles remain the same: create tension, maintain control, and coordinate your breath with every movement. Science explains why this works so powerfully. The isometric contractions trigger the release of myokinase, special proteins secreted by muscles during exercise. Myokinase act like medicine inside your body. They reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and even promote the growth of new brain cells. Remarkably, the towel twist produces more myokinase per minute than any other movement studied. Timing amplifies the effects. Japanese elders typically practice once in the morning, once at night. The morning session wakes up the nervous system for the day. The evening session promotes recovery and deep restorative sleep. Just 1 minute in the morning and 1 minute before bed provides full benefits. No gym, no special equipment, no complicated routines. Yet this simple practice influences every system in your body, far more profoundly than hours of conventional exercise. The revolutionary truth about aging isn't found in expensive supplements, high-tech gadgets, or exotic diets. It's in the quiet wisdom of these 6 movements, passed down for generations. They aren't just exercises, they're a complete system for maintaining strength, flexibility, balance, and mental acuity throughout life. For anyone who wants to live longer, healthier, and sharper, they are the blueprint the world has overlooked for too long. These 6 movements aren't just exercises, they're a complete system for maintaining flexibility, balance, coordination, and brain health all at once. They don't require equipment, special clothing, or dedicated workout time. Instead, they weave effortlessly into daily life, becoming as natural as breathing. The science is clear and overwhelming. People who practice these movements age differently. They stay independent. Their minds remain sharp. They enjoy their later years instead of merely enduring them. The difference isn't subtle, it's transformational. The choice is yours. You can continue following Western exercise trends that treat aging like a disease to fight. Or you can embrace these simple, time-tested movements that honor aging as a natural process. One to navigate gracefully, with strength and confidence. The Japanese have shown us the way, and modern research has validated it. The only question left is, will you start today, or wait until tomorrow to begin transforming how you age? We want to hear from you. Which of these movements do you feel could help you the most right now, and why? Have you tried any of these Japanese habits before? Did you notice a difference in your strength, balance, or overall energy? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. We read and reply to every single one. Thank you for watching, and here's to moving smarter, aging stronger, and living longer.